Alright, so things were getting moved around, like I said in my last video when I was out here doing stuff, making those beds. That was yesterday. Things were getting moved around. I just took out 2 crepe myrtles. One came as part of the landscaping in the house, and it was in the front, right up to the house, so it was moved. The other one we bought, the other one is purple. The one that came with the house, I think it's like a small shrub form. The other one that's purple is supposed to get like 5 feet, but you know, those tags are all like, you know, not if you don't let it go wild, I guess, but so not necessarily tall shrubs. I think I'm gonna put them in the front of the house. Like I want to see them in the house, the front house. This whole area is always in flux, so I'm not gonna do too many. Moving it forward, I'm not going to do too much like permanent planting because it's always in flux. Something's always getting changed or added. Like I have a decilium that's super well rooted in there. It looks lovely there. I have to move that because it's just gonna be better in terms of like everything. I mean, I could leave it, and if I can't get it out, I guess I will. But it's doing pretty great. Where it's at. So it's the dog's area. There she goes asleep or sunbathing, whatever. This whole area, the idea is it's getting moved to behind the decilium or behind where the decilium currently is. And these branches, dead tree limbs, whatever. Not branches, I don't know what you call them. Dead trees. They're staying in there to support for a second year, some nyame as well. Another reason why I've got to move my decilium because last year, towards the end of their lifespan, before they died out, they were trying to, they didn't have anywhere else upwards to go, so they were going back down. You can kind of see it hanging down there, and they're about to wrap around my decilium. And if my mother starts it early this year, it's gonna definitely wrap around my decilium. So, ideally, hopefully, maybe at some point she'll decide to connect all these together and make some type of trail. I don't know if it's better or not. Regardless, I'm gonna go plant these. I'm gonna walk around and figure out somewhere to plant this right now. I'm also gonna move this abelia. I suppose they were trying to do it in spring, so I guess I'm gonna wait for the abelia to move it. Yeah. And so I'm gonna move some stuff around still. There's all this cardboard. I'm just gonna move to the front. It's still it looks way too intact for me not to. This sink was already given to me in Word. And so that's the sink in my mind that's going to go inside a table I'm going to make or maybe buy. Anyway, it's going to go inside the greenhouse. I got plans, man. I got plans. So I'm going to plant these trees up, move this sink, move this back to where I think is a good... Move this back for now. Ideally, I want to move this somewhere else. But until I'm able to switch it up, until I just move this back to where this new area is going to be. So I'm going to move this back. Yeah. For visualization. So I think this is where I'm going to put it for now. Here are the 2 pink mully grasses, right? I'm going to put the crepe myrtle here. The pink one that's smaller over here. I'm going to put the purple one in between. I'm not sure yet, but I'm thinking I'm going to put the purple one in between the 2 camellias. Maybe over here in the end. It looks like a mess now, but I know where things are. So I took the opportunity to prune off some branches, thin out the middle, because there were a lot of branches, because I think when I tried to take this one out initially, I hit it a couple times. I'm sure I activated some growth points. There was a lot of inner growth, whatever, that was dead. And so I did the same thing with this one. I tried pruning some more, but again, just trying to eliminate crossing and cleaning up some. So this one is supposed to get bigger. I'm just thinking about where I'm going to put this now. Do I want to put it here? Ideally, this would have been, had they not been eaten up, this would have been, and had I watered them sufficiently, this would have been a drift of blue hydrangeas. I think I can still put the purple one there in the corner. That really shouldn't be too tall. If it does just say 5 feet, it should be a nice little height. I think this one's supposed to be like 2 to 3 off like the one Google Lens I did. So if I do that, it's 5 feet and it's going to be purple. No, it's gonna be red flowers, but it's purple foliage. So red flowers, and this one is pink. So that is fine with the mully grass, right? Yeah, I think I'm gonna try and put it over there. I don't know though. I don't want to mow. I feel like I might have to though. I'm gonna get a mower. Anyway, also to say that when I was cleaning it up, this whole portion, hello, this whole portion came off the bottom of that one. So I might, this one needs to get cleared up a bit too. There's a lot of crossing. So, all right, so there's a mound right there, and I think that was one of the um, blue hydrangeas. And so this isn't supposed to be like a really canopy type of tree, I don't think. I'm in a different. I didn't get this tree. My mother got this tree. She was enamored by it. And I, also at the time I'm like, oh, crepe myrtle, lovely, purple foliage, crepe myrtle, very pretty. Now I'm just like, after almost 2 years surrounded by oaks and pines, I'm like, it just doesn't fit. On the other hand, our neighbors do have a really lovely, really big crepe myrtle, and it looks really pretty from a distance. So I mowed down this area a bit. I'm probably gonna mow a little more. Where that green, probably I think it's broom sedge. Everything is broom sedge to me. Seems to be growing. I'm probably gonna dig that up. I'm gonna put the crepe myrtle here, and I'm gonna take some of that cardboard and use it like to mulch around the base, and then I'll put some more soil on top. So, yeah. So this small purple, the smaller pink one that was the older one here. I think generally speaking, it's better. And it was also next to decaying dead stump. This one did good. It's, I guess, when it got here, it was doing well, and then it got moved like a more sandy area that had less organic material. And it's not been doing so great the last year. I don't really remember what I did at all. And then when I was breaking off pieces of it, they were partly green. They weren't super green. Like this one looks really healthy. So I don't know about that one, but I did orient it the way I would like it to grow. I'm probably pruning it regardless if it were to grow well still. So, and then the one that came off of this, I just potted up. We'll see if it takes, and that'll be a nice potted plant, right? Crepe myrtle in a pot. So, yeah, on to get that cardboard. The thing with pine cones is that as a mulch, I guess it takes so much of them because the pine cones, or maybe if I broke them up, maybe they had been broken up, they'd be more. I don't think so because weight-wise, it's anyway. I used some soil. I used all the pine cones I had, and I had these older limbs, branches, whatever, pieces of wood, pieces of tree, lining things. But since my idea now is that things are going to be in flux, I moved some from around. So I was going to go far, but I'm lazy or efficient, depending on how you look at it. And so I moved some of these over here. Okay, finally could not though. Anyway, over here I have some. There were 2 sticks that were lining the pathway there. Those got moved to this one over here. Anyway, so yeah, I'm done over here for now. I'm gonna see, and the next couple of days I'll be getting more sticks to hold more stuff down. And then Friday's supposed to rain. Is today Thursday? Is today Wednesday? I don't know what today is. I think today is Wednesday, which means no, because I thought Wednesday's supposed to rain. Hold on. It is Wednesday. So I haven't checked the weather today. I thought it was supposed to rain today. Didn't. Maybe it's going to do it later. I don't know. But Friday is supposed to rain. Last I checked. This rose that I pruned is looking real nice. Everything else looks different with these sunglasses on, right? A little more saturated. Yeah. One of these days I'm going to come and I'm going to weed things, right? I'm going to mount some more stuff around the rows. I can weed this right now, actually. Come take out a bunch of the broom sedge, mow the rest of this mess over here, even though I don't have anything to plant in its place. But yeah, I maybe am thinking I want to start pansies from seed, because if I start a bunch and they do well, then I could go nuts in terms of like decorating, and it'd be really cheap, right? But also pansies. So anyway, I'm also thinking that there's 3 mums here. I'm thinking I'm going to be removing this, and I think I was thinking now when I was over there, I'm like, actually now was the perfect time to be moving mums around, or maybe it would have been a little bit before. Anyway, I think now, or maybe anyway, I feel like I can move mums now, especially if I want. There's mums in that bed, and they're very nice, especially that big one. It's super huge and big, but it's super huge and big. So I have to think on that big one at the very least. But there's two smaller ones I could move. Also, like where? I want to move them all over there in that bed, and I'm going to be redoing. I don't know. When did I get into mums? I don't even really think I'm into mums. I like walking so much through the mully grass. I really do. And I can't wait till it's full and pink. So that's going to be like autumn, like late autumn or late autumn. Anyway, I can't wait till this is super full with stuff. Yeah. And so my idea had been, this is my idea. My idea had been that I was going to put the arborvitae in a pot and let it grow a bit before I put it in the ground. But now I'm like, why can't I just put it in the ground? I could put it right there, but then it's right there. That's too close. I want it farther to make it look as big as possible. So maybe in that corner, actually, in that mountain. I have to talk to my mother. Anyway, all right, so I moved most of the cardboard here. There's some little wood scraps here. I felt it's wood lice that they were underneath. Whatever. They're on this pile of organic material. Whatever. I'm gonna pull this. No, I gotta take the sink out first. Take the sink out. I'm gonna pull this back over here. Yeah. I moved it a lot back. I don't know if that's where the garbage can is, where the thing will start now. But it was a lot farther up because this hole was a lot closer up to it. That was next to it, so I pushed it back a good amount. I did take out the abelia. I'm like, oh, it's been getting leaves slowly coming back. I'm like, if we don't have any more cold snaps, if this is it waking up, like I want it to wake up where I'm gonna have it, where I want to have it. So I'm gonna try and break out some pieces and prune it a bit here. But yeah, and then there was an oak. I don't know if it was transplant. Well, I think I'm gonna move it to the front, the very, very front. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. Before, however, I'm gonna take this sink over there. The sink ended up being really light, so that's fun for me in terms of like it no longer being super daunting about building this future sink, this future table with the sink in it. So, yeah, you can see where the cage was, and I'm gonna push that. Well, I don't really need to push that cage back. Anyway, all right. I was not moving to the front. I'm tired. My stomach hurts. I probably need to eat. I just moved it to the side here. Unfortunately, there's a bunch of pines here, so I don't know what it'll take. I also don't necessarily want it to make a big stand. Like it would just be the one lone. Ooh, she's looking nice. This nice. Okay, look a nice pine tree. I could just be the lone oak amongst the pines. I don't know how that works with oaks and pines. Anyway, I'm so hungry. Oh my gosh. Wow. But there's a lot of space over here for me to do a lot with. I was thinking, I'm like, oh, what about an azalea border? We can ask the neighbors in terms of hedging and whatnot. Thoughts. Here's this hydrangea. Can't wait to see you come back and look super lush. Right, friend? Right. Am I supposed to prune her now? I see a lot of crossing. Ugh. So much pruning to do. Gosh. My mother had bought 2 kaleidoscope abelias on clearance first year we moved here. And like a lot of plants that year, they were delayed in getting in the ground, or they were underwater, neglected generally. Anyway, one of them did really great. One I just dug up where it was next to a really rich organic source. This one is just soil, the loamy soil. But I think, generally speaking, this year, um, this past year, this coming year, this whole area will get a lot more attention. And so the ability I thought was over here that might be alive is dead. I'm like, oh, it feels kind of firm in ground. I'm like, let me break a stem. No, it's dry as a bone. So the ground is still wet. It's just great. And I'm going to transplant it right where I had it. I was like, I had to look up the size. I'm like, I think it's small, right? And it said 2.5 to 3 feet tall, but it's 6 feet wide. What a weird dimension. And so I'm going to put it, let me see. I'm going to move it a bit closer to me. I don't want it so close to the lilac. Move it a bit closer to me, but not so far. Yeah. So that's the lilac. I see it still has some green leaves on it, or greenish leaves on it. So I expect that's going to be fine when it comes back. It's going to need a lot more organic material this year. Generally, I'm going to have to be weeding this area a lot more in general. But if it's 6 feet, I don't necessarily want it touching the lilac, right? The lilac's also not supposed to get that tall, but still. So, yeah. When I tell you this is truly what was missing here, that I don't want to say built my garden around this, but I made space for this plant for sure last year. And now that I have a living specimen with foliage in the ground, does one prune abelias anyway? It's just looking great. Okay, I guess I had some soil in the Gorilla cart, so I put that around here. There's pretty much nothing in that box. I'd be scraping sand at this point and weed seed, so I'm not going to do that really. Also, this pathway here that looks like a triangle that narrows out, this is going to get reworked, right? I want it to be more of like a winding path, a wider winding path. So pretty much over here, we've got the kaleidoscope abelia, we've got the lilac. I have the tag for that lilac inside. I don't remember which one it is. I don't think it's supposed to get super big though. We went to a nursery last year and I kept walking past and thinking, oh my gosh, what smells so great? And it was a lilac tree. I considered, now that everything's soft and no longer frozen, I considered taking some soil from this, but then I see that this Apuntia has a bud forming. Well, actually, anyway, I decided against it. If that Apuntia decides to die, guess who's getting cannibalized? This whole pot. So, yeah. Anyway, super lovely. I think I'm done for now. Everything that I dug up has planted. I didn't dig up the distilium. That's fine. That's another day's problem. Another problem for another me. If I even decide to move it, actually. So, yeah. Do I need pansies? Anyway, thanks for watching. Bye.